So, you want to lose some weight? Well, you came to the right video. This caffeine conversation with Coach Scott McLeod is all about how you can lose some weight. Welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. My channel is all about fitness, travel, and lifestyle content. This video is a very, very, very serious video. And I have a whole lot that I want to say about this topic. And I hope that I don't make this video too long. I'm going to do my best to try to fit it all in a short amount of time. But if there's one video that you watch every last second, every last minute, it's this one. This video on how you can lose some weight. PG53 says, one question that comes to mind for health reasons: how can I use your food intake to help me get off all of the meds I'm on? Is that even possible? Do you know of a diet that would help people lose weight and not becoming a type 2 diabetic? I don't want to bulk up. My age stops me from being extremely active in the gym. Just wondering if you knew of anything or suggestions about how to lose weight. Otherwise, thoroughly enjoying your videos, especially when you show where you are in the sites that you're seeing. Keep it up. I appreciate the kind words. PG53, I do also appreciate the comment. For the rest of you, please drop comments down below. This is an interactive series here. This series where we point and shoot and we get into the weeds of topics. So please leave your comments about what you would like to see next. I'm happy to make a video for each and every one of you and your unique needs. You already know that I'm on a no-carb diet except for weekends, and right now I'm hitting a plateau. I'm at a standstill, but I know enough to keep going. I'd welcome any advice on food options or low-impact exercises. The more I lose, the more I'll exercise without too much pain. And I do know PG53 in person, and I'm not going to uniquely identify this person. I'm not even going to say he, she. We're just going to say this person. This person was gracious enough to leave a comment. This person really wants to lose some weight. Now, that being said, there's a whole lot going on here, and I want to be very, very clear that me, Coach Scott McLeod, I am not a doctor. I never was a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. I'm probably not going to be a doctor. None of that up in here. No doctors here. It's also outside of my scope of practice to treat, to diagnose, to prescribe meal plans, exact caloric requirements, exact macronutrient intakes. I can't do any of that. It is my due diligence to ensure that these types of people are in communication with the appropriate resources. MDs, your medical doctors, your licensed and registered dietitian nutritionists. So since I know PG53 in real life, I know that this individual is in contact with the right resources. But to make sure everyone knows what these correct resources are, I'm talking about MDs, your medical doctors, but also your registered dietitian nutritionists when it comes to a condition like type 2 diabetes. There's a difference between a nutrition coach, someone that has a certificate, and a registered and licensed dietitian. Now, it is also important to note that MDs, medical doctors, in traditional med school, they receive as little as 1 to 2 nutrition classes during their med program. So that's why it's essential that if you have a condition like type 2 diabetes, that you're in contact with a registered dietitian. Anyways, let's get right into how to lose weight. It's very important that we understand basic nutritional concepts if we want to know how to lose weight, and this applies for everyone. Every human being on this planet. So the biggest thing when it comes to how to lose weight is the concept of an energy balance. I need you all to start thinking of the word calorie. We need to look at calorie or calories as a unit of measure for energy, specifically the unit of measure for the energy content that a food can provide when broken down, when metabolized by the chemical reactions in your body, the chemical bond breakdowns in your body to convert food into energy. So calorie, start looking at the word calorie as energy. Now, the absolute only way, period, the only way to lose weight is to be in an energy deficit. That means you are burning or expending more calories than you are consuming. So when we talk about an energy balance, we have energy in, we have consumption, the food that we're eating. We gain energy from food. Energy in is our consumption, our intake. Energy out on the other side of the equation is our expenditure. If energy in is not balanced with energy out, there will be changes in mass. Either the organism, an example, the living human being, is gaining weight or they're losing weight. To lose weight, you need to be in an energy deficit, period. That's the only way to lose weight. There are certain immutable laws that govern the universe. Now, one of those immutable laws governing the universe is the law of thermodynamics. It's a fundamental concept of physics, and there are actually 4 laws of thermodynamics. We're going to be dealing with the first law of thermodynamics, stating that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form to another. Again, the first law of thermodynamics, it's an immutable law. It is what it is. Nobody can violate, not even you, not a single person can violate the law of thermodynamics. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form to another. But this means that all energy, all calories taken into the body need to be accounted for. Since they can neither be created nor destroyed, energy consumed, calories consumed, it all needs to be accounted for in one way or another. These can be accounted for by sustaining life. They can be converted into kinetic energy, our ability to produce work. They can be used to sustain life. Did I already state that? I don't know. Sustain life. They can be put into work, kinetic energy, us performing work, us contracting a muscle, or they can be stored away for later use, stored as potential energy. They're stored within the molecular bonds of carbon-based organic matter. In other words, inside of you, all life on Earth is carbon-based. Carbon gives physical beings, human beings, living things, its physical mass, its body weight. That's because energy that's stored away for later use must be accounted for. It must be stored within the molecular bonds of carbon-based organic matter. And when there's a surplus of energy, when there's an abundance of energy, when you're consuming a whole lot of calories, or you're not expending calories, or you're doing a combination of both, there's some surplus of energy coming into the body through intake in lack of expenditure, and or a combination of both. But with that surplus of energy, it has to be accounted for. It has to be stored within the molecular bonds of carbon-based organic things, living things, human beings, within you. When there's an energy deficit, when there's not enough energy coming in, you're expending a lot of energy, you're moving a lot, you're training hard in the gym, you're doing tons of cardio, you're eating minimal amounts of calories, then there's an energy deficit, meaning there's not enough energy coming in, and you're losing weight because you're in a deficit. So the concept of energy balance is hugely important to understand. Calories are units of measure, or a calorie is a unit of measure for energy. Energy in versus energy out. In other words, calories in versus calories out. The only way to lose weight is to be in a calorie deficit, an energy deficit. There's no other way to state it. This is an immutable law. No one can violate it. There is no evidence out there that anyone can violate the law of thermodynamics. Energy in versus energy out. In other words, calories in versus calories out. Now, that being said, there are things that we can do to create an energy deficit. Now, the energy in part of the equation we know is consumption. The energy out part of the equation is energy expenditure. Total daily energy expenditure, TDEE. The amount of energy expended in one day in total daily energy expenditure. This is energy out. This is how we expend energy, how we burn energy, how we can help create an energy deficit alongside less consumption. You have to consume less, but also burn more, expend more, increase total daily energy expenditure. Now, TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, is a function of resting metabolic rate, the amount of energy that you burn at complete rest when you're just sustaining life to live, for proper organ function, to sustain life. Resting metabolic rate, your RMR, is part of total daily energy expenditure. It's the amount of energy you burn at complete rest. Then we have EAT, exercise activity thermogenesis. This is all of your planned activity, your planned exercise. You have control over your planned exercise, your planned activity. If you want to expend more, you increase your EAT, your exercise activity thermogenesis. thermogenesis, you move more, you plan more exercise. Then we're also working with the thermic effect of food, TEF. This also contributes to total daily energy expenditure. The thermic effect of food is the amount of energy used to digest. Now, this isn't a very big portion of energy expenditure, but it is worth noting that protein has a higher thermic effect of food than your other macronutrients, your carbs, your fats. So your macronutrients are your proteins, carbs, and fats, those organic molecules that provide energy, protein, carbs, fats. Protein has a higher thermic effect of food than carbs and fats. So consuming more protein will help increase the thermic effect of food, in turn increasing total daily energy expenditure. But again, the thermic effect of food is a very small portion of total daily energy expenditure, but you can eat more protein to help. And then we're also talking about and working with NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. NEAT, NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. I do have an entire video on this specific component of total daily energy expenditure. It's a short form video. I think it's called short form NEAT. Increase your NEAT. I'll link it down below. You need to watch this video. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis is very important for increasing total daily energy expenditure. NEAT being the energy burned and expended through all other daily movements, from walking, taking the stairs, from fidgeting, from standing up and doing a dance, from doing chores around the apartment or house, for all of those other movements outside of the thermic effect of food and exercise activity thermogenesis and your resting metabolic rate. So fidget more, walk more, take the stairs, get up and do a dance, things similar in nature. But total daily energy expenditure, there are a lot of things within our control. We have the power. Now, your resting metabolic rate is a very large portion of total daily energy expenditure, and it's going to vary based on a number of different factors: how fit you are, your age, your height, your weight, your lifestyle factors, how energy efficient your body is. And there are things we can do to get more efficient, become more efficient, and a lot of that starts with losing weight, and then also committing to an exercise program, to moving more, to increasing our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, for walking more, for increasing planned activity and exercise. But your resting metabolic rate is a large portion of that total daily energy expenditure, and we can do things to become better at burning calories at rest, but it's all going to start with losing weight and with exercising more. So what can you do? And I believe PGPG53 in his comment, let's go back to this comment for a second here. Yes, there's a comment here about low impact exercises. But low impact exercises, you need to do whatever it is that you can within the confines and parameters of your physical ability. Don't hurt yourself. Don't kill yourself. Don't go overboard. Don't go over the top. If you're not a runner and you can't even fathom running, you're not going to go out there and just magically run a mile, let alone down the street. What I need you to do is anything. Do something. Do more than last time and keep it within your ability. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to go crazy. Most of us probably have the ability to walk. If we're, able-bodied, healthy individuals, walk at your own pace. Walking is great. It's not only good for your mental health, it's a way to get out there and escape, to shut the computer off, to turn the camera off, to put the phone down, to get out there and breathe in some fresh air, let the sun rays hit your skin, listen to the birds chirp, get out there in nature, just breathe in that fresh air, be present, but get out there and walk. Walk at your own pace. Walking is one of the best things that you can do. You don't have to go fast. Just get out there and do something. Please, I'm begging you. Again, this is very serious. Your health is very important. Each and every one of you behind this camera, if you do not have your health, you do not have anything else that makes you happy. Without your health, you cease to exist. If you value your friendships, your relationships, your family, hanging out with your loved ones, spending time with your loved ones, connecting with those loved ones on an intimate and deep level, and sharing happiness together, you don't have any of that without your health. If you are not healthy, you cease to exist. You will terminate in this universe. You need your health. So this is why this is very serious. What I'm doing is acting as your tour guide. You need to move more in ways that are suitable for you. Get out there, do some more moving. And then also check out my video on non-exercise activity thermogenesis, on increasing your NEAT. If we want to expend more energy, we can increase our NEAT. And my previous video that's linked down in the description box below on NEAT is going to tell you all of the ways that you can increase your NEAT, parking farther away at the grocery store, doing more household chores, fidgeting, making YouTube videos, moving your hands around, talking with your hands, things like that. Just moving your body as much as you possibly can outside of your planned physical activity. So, in summary, I'm going to do a quick little summary of everything that we've already talked about. If you want to lose weight, you need to be in an energy deficit, period. That's it. You need to be in a calorie deficit. Calories in versus calories out. There's an energy balance, energy in versus energy out. Again, think of calorie as a unit of measure for energy. It's the amount of energy that a certain food can provide when broken down in the body, when metabolized through those chemical reactions. So if you want to lose weight, you need to be in an energy deficit. You need to consume less, outright consume less and or expend more. I would argue that you should be doing both. Watch your consumption, consume less, and also expend more. Become healthier, move more, become more physically active slowly over time within the confines of your physical ability. Go for those walks. Try to walk a tiny bit more each and every time, just a tiny little bit. And when that's compounded week over week, month over month, year over year, you're cooking with heat at that point. And it's going to start small. It's going to have to start small for it to be sustainable. Start really, really small. Do something, do more than yesterday, do more than last time. Get better each and every time, just a little bit better. Don't kill yourself. Don't go overboard. Getting out there for walks is probably one of the best things that you can possibly do. Trust me, I love my walks. I do them all the time, mainly for my mental health, but it is another way to expend energy. So if you want to lose weight, get in that energy deficit. Another part of this comment that I really wanted to address here is you already know that I'm on a no carb diet except for weekends, and right now you're hitting a plateau. You're at a standstill and you know enough to keep going. First and foremost, that's great that you want to keep going. Keep up the hard work. And yes, it is hard work. This stuff isn't easy. If it were easy, we'd all be walking around like the Greek gods and the superheroes. Trust me, it's not easy. It takes diligence, but there are things that you can do. But that point about no carbs except for weekends, what that is telling me, since you're at a standstill and at a plateau, is that you are more than making up for your good week by shitty weekends. You are more than making up for it. So maybe you're doing good during the week, but then you're coming to a weekend and you're more than making up for the progress you gained during the week by having a bad weekend. I would strongly encourage you to have good weeks and good weekends. Really focus on this, because if you're hitting that plateau and you're not going anywhere, that means by definition you are no longer in an energy deficit. If you're not losing weight, you are not in an energy deficit. I guarantee you that. I promise you that, because there are immutable laws that we now know of that govern energy in versus energy out in the conversion of energy from one form to another, namely the first law of thermodynamics. But if you're not in an energy deficit, you are not losing weight. If you're not in an energy deficit, you are not losing weight. Or other way around, if you're not losing weight, you are not in an energy deficit. If you are not losing weight, you're not in an energy deficit. I guarantee you that. So that means you're more than making up for your progress gained by having a bad weekend. You need to try to find a lifestyle that works for you. Make this a lifestyle. And increasing your physical activity is a great way to assist in that. Become more active by starting small. As you become more active, your energy systems will develop. You'll become more efficient. The way it's taught is you'll become a better butter burner, meaning you'll become more efficient. Your body will be more of a furnace, using energy for movement, for kinetic energy, for sustaining of life, rather than storing that away within the molecular bonds of yourself, the carbon-based organic matter, resulting in an increase in physical body mass, because again, all energy taken in must be accounted for. So I'm rambling, but those are some huge things that we need to remain aware of if we want to lose weight. If you enjoyed this video, if you found value in this video, if you learned something, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I drop at least one video a week every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I'll see each and every one of you in the very next video.